Hello. I'm going to go start and do some of this folder with you, but then I'm going to stop about part of the way through because it's got to be taken in chunks. So let's get started. This is the weeks 2 through 3. So you have 2 full weeks to complete this full folder, and I think that's pretty good. The learning target here at the top, it says it's a huge one, so that's why it does take 2 weeks. To define a problem, use appropriate reference materials to support scientific understanding, plan and carry out scientific investigations of various types, such as systematic observations, experiments, requiring the identifications of variables, collecting and organizing data, interpreting data in charts and tables and graphics, analyze information, predictions, and defend conclusions. So you'll know you're successful in having completed all that when you turn in your quiz, your 5 testable questions, and your hypothesis. So what you're going to want to do is get started. You're going to want to right-click the first folder, open in a new tab, and then you're going to see this video that you're watching right now. Yay! But at the bottom, there's files that you're going to want to download. So you click on them. And I am in Chrome, and when you download files in Chrome, they go to the very bottom down here. I'm going to download them all first and then take a look at them individually. First one's PowerPoint. Next one's a handbook, and last one's PowerPoint. Open, open, open. Cancel. We're going to take a look at this is a template for a science fair project. Many of you have seen a science fair project done with a tri-fold board, which is a big cardboard board divided into 3 parts that you can stand up on itself. What I want to do by the end of these 2 folders is have you go through the process of doing a science fair project. And what you'll do is you'll turn it in virtually. You'll turn it in a PowerPoint. So throughout the whole 2 folders, you're going to come up with different elements of the science fair project, and you can turn them into me to get your grade for the different parts. You're going to turn a hypothesis into me. You're going to turn a procedure that includes materials. You're going to turn in your question to me. Each part that you turn into me is worth points by themselves, but at the end of both folders, you're going to turn this whole PowerPoint completed into me. So my advice to you is turn it into Moodle, but then just as you turn it into Moodle, make sure you put it onto your PowerPoint as well. So when you come up with your final question that you really want to do a project on, don't forget to type it into your Moodle, not your Moodle, but your PowerPoint, because this will be something that you want to do as you go along. You just, when you are editing it, remember to highlight the suggestion, like your name goes here, and type your name. James, Mr. James. Your grade goes here, 5th grade. You highlight it and you replace it with your text. When you save it, my recommendation is save as, and I want you to pick desktop. And if you don't already have a file on your desktop for science, make one now. In this empty space down here, you're going to right-click. It won't. Ooh, that's interesting. You're going to right-click, click New Folder, and call your new folder 5th grade science, because then you'll always know where your stuff is from my class. Double-click, and then you're going to science fair project, and put your name at the end. Name, your name, not the word name. Save. So then later on, when you have to go back and open it up and edit it again, because I want you to edit it the whole time, you can find it. Watch. It is right here. It's on my desktop in my 5th grade science folder. So hopefully that will help you stay organized. Something that I put in as a reference sheet, but do not assume that it's exactly all the points that I want and you have to follow it to a T or else you'll get in big trouble. No, 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 no. This is just to help you. It goes through the scientific method. This is one of the files we downloaded off of the Moodle site. To choose what you want to do for a science project, how to come up with a question, what you do next, research, make a hypothesis. So I included this as one of the files to download. It's just to help. It's not as though you're going to get graded on all the elements in this file. Last thing, I have the template and this thing here. Same idea. Click Enable Editing for this PowerPoint, and then you can go through and look. This is just to help. Goes through the process, where you start, how to pick, how to turn it into your interest into a question. So I put it in there thinking it would help you. Don't get nervous by it. Don't assume that you have to do everything exactly the way this PowerPoint shows you. You do have to do everything the way that my template shows you. You have to fill in all the missing parts by the end of 2 folders. So don't get nervous like you have to get it done now. Let's go back. So we've taken a look at the Science Fair project. That's where all your resources are going to be. You can go back into it whenever you want. Let's right-click and open a textbook lesson. Goes up here. Taking aim, testable questions. You will need to turn in a list of 5 testable questions. Keep this in mind as you go through these lessons. So you have to come up with 5 scientific questions that you could do 5 different experiments to figure out the answer to. Click Next. Alright, it says click here to log in. I want you to right-click here and open it in a new tab. Right-click, open in a new tab. There's a reason I have you do it that way. You're going to click United States from the drop-down. You're going to click Florida from the drop-down, Volusia County Schools, and then Volusia Virtual. If you click Remember My School, it should pop up the way it popped up for me every time you log in. You're going to put in Student 5 as the username and Student 5 as the password, and click Login. Once you're completely logged in and you see this, if you feel comfortable, you can click Save Password and never have to remember the password. Go back to your Moodle lesson. Once you've logged in, click Next. You have to prove to the website that you are who you say you are, and then it'll let you see all the cool lessons on my next Moodle page. The directions say, click on the buttons in this order. Scientists at Work, and then click on the triangle next to Lesson 3. Lesson 3, triangle. It'll pop up an animated lesson. You have to listen to the directions, take notes, and proceed through the slides. As soon as you are done and this arrow starts flashing, you click the arrow and move on to slide number 2, then slide number 3, and you enter in any responses that they ask for. Okay? After that, you click Done, and you'll be done with this first textbook lesson. Hooray! After the textbook lesson, there is a quiz. Right-click on that quiz, open a new tab. You're going to start an attempt. And pay attention to whether you click Submit or not. Sometimes kids will finish the quiz, and then not go back and submit it. Submit is important. Continue last attempt. It says match the scientific question to the way it would be investigated, and you will click which one you think. There, and then click Next. You can go back if you need to, but Submit All and Finish is the button you're going to want to turn in to turn it into me and get a grade. After your quiz is this here is another textbook lesson. You're already logged in, so you don't even have to do this step. Click Next. If you were to turn your computer off and come back the next day and do the lesson, then you'd have to log in again. It says click the buttons in this order. Scientists at Work, got it. Triangle next to Lesson 4, got it. This is the virtual lab. It has the word virtual lab underneath it. It lets you click and drag the lab tools to complete an experiment. I'll even show you a picture of the experiment. Plan your work. Yes, it's an experiment having to do with the height of a bouncing basketball and how you can change one variable in this experiment and collect data on that. When you're done, and you get all the way down to the last slide, 14, click Done. I believe that's it. Once you get to how to write a testable question, there should be a new video for you to watch to know how to do the rest of this science fair project. Good luck, and if you need help, there are buttons at the top on how to get a hold of me. You can start a Hangout. This one lets you call me. You also have my email as well. Good luck.